Hey kids, for today we will discuss how to graph trigonometric functions. In particular, we want to graph functions of the following form: f of x equals a times sine of b times x minus c plus d, and g of x equals a times cosine of the quantity b times x minus c plus d. The graph of these two functions are what we call sinusoidal waves, since the graph of this one closely resembles the graph of your original sine function. So how do we graph functions of this form? First, we need to understand the graph of sine and cosine of x. So right here, we have the graphs of sine of x and cosine of x in the interval 0 to 2 pi. So you might ask, why are we only considering the graph of sine and cosine within this interval? Take note that your sine and cosine functions are periodic and they have a period of 2 pi. So beyond this part, if you consider another segment of length 2 pi, it will just produce the same graph. So what we can do is look first initially at the 0 to 2 pi mark. This one right here is what we call a cycle. So cycle of the graph. So when we say cycle of the graph, it's the portion of the graph that spans the entire period. So this is the portion of the graph which spans the entire period. Okay? So let's observe first y equals sine of x. So there are 5 important points here. First one is your initial point, 0, 0. This, why is it changing? Okay. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with the pen. So you have here your 0, 0. Then the second important point is this one right here. 1 comma pi over 2. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. The next one, you have 0 pi. Then you have right here negative 1 comma 3 pi over 2. And lastly, you have 0 comma 2 pi. Wait. I think it should be something related to the settings here. Okay. There you go. So what is the significance of these points in our graph? This will actually tell us how to produce the graph of these functions right here. So first, as you can see, to go from the first point to the second point, you are traveling 1 unit up and pi over 2 units to the right. So we have 1 unit up, pi over 2 units to the right. Then next, to go from this point right here to this point right here, you move pi over 2 units to the right and 1 unit down, 1 unit down. Then from this third point right here to the fourth point, you move 1 unit down and pi over 2 units to the right. And lastly, from the fourth to the last point, you move pi over 2 units to the right and 1 unit up. This pink broken lines right here is what I want to call the guideline in graphing the sine function, since even if you change the values of a, b, c, and d right here, this one right here is almost the same. The shape is almost the same, but the lengths right here would be the ones that will change. So how do we connect these numbers right here, 1 and pi over 2, with your sine x? So observe that y equals sine x can be written as 1 plus sine of x plus, it's 1 times sine of x plus 0, I mean. So 1 times sine of x plus 0. And furthermore, your sine function has period 2 pi. And 2 pi divided by 4 is pi over 2. So this number right here, this number 1 right here, corresponds to the vertical movement for our framework right here. So the vertical movement would be this one right here. And the period, if you divide by 4, would give you our horizontal movement. So the vertical movement would be A, which is this one right here. And the horizontal movement would just be the period divided by 4. And actually, this one right here would just be the same for your cosine function. Oops, the picture got copied as well. Okay, there you go. So next, for the cosine function, these are the important points. So first one, you have 0, 1. And you have here pi over 2, 0. Pi negative 1. 3 pi over 2, 0. And 2 pi 1. So what is our framework going to look like? First, to go from 0, 1 to pi over 2, 0, you move pi over 2 units to the left, to the right. Pi over 2 units to the right, and 1 unit down. Then next, to go from the second to the third point, you move 1 unit down, and pi over 2 units to the right. To go from the third to the fourth point, you move pi over 2 units to the right, and 1 unit up. And lastly, to go from the fourth to the last point, you move 1 unit up and pi over 2 units to the right. So as you can see, our vertical movement is still the A from this one, and your horizontal movement is still the period divided by 4. So how will we use this framework to graph your trigonometric functions? First, we need to understand the properties of these sinusoidal waves. So let's discuss the properties of sinusoidal waves. So let me just copy the functions that we want to consider just for reference. Let me copy these. Okay, paste. So first property of your sinusoidal waves is what we call the amplitude of the wave. And amplitude is defined as half the difference between the maximum and minimum y value. So amplitude is just half the difference of your maximum and minimum value, which, as you can see from this one, it's just giving us the length A right here, or in particular, we're considering the absolute value of that A. So the amplitude of the sine wave is absolute value of A. And furthermore, there's something that happens if your A is negative. Take note that given the graph of f of x, for example, if this is your f of x, what happens if you multiply a negative sign to your f of x is that it reflects your graph with respect to the x-axis. So if this one is your x-axis, negative f of x will be found below the x-axis. So we take note right here that if A is negative, we negate our framework. So what do I mean by negating the framework? Basically, instead of going up, what we'll do is go down. So we'll go like this, go down 1 unit, move to the right, go up, move to the right, go down. So basically, we just negated our framework vertically. So if A is negative, we have to negate our framework. Second property is what we call the period of your sine wave. And this is the length of a cycle. Take note that the period this time, period of sine wave, if you have a multiplier b here, what will happen is that it will make this graph shorter. So instead of having a graph like this, it contracts, becomes like this if your b is greater than 1. So if your period originally for the sine function is 2 pi, your period now is 2 pi over b if you have a different value for b. So you have here a period of 2 pi over b. Third one is what we call the phase shift. And phase shift is the left or right shift of the graph and this one right here is based on the value of C, because if you are moving from left to right, what's changing is the value of x. And if we will look at the function right here, the one that's affecting x is your C right here. This one has the direct effect to your x values. So the phase shift is based on the value of C. And how does this one affect the graph of your sine function? First, if your C is greater than 0, then you have a right phase shift. But if you have a negative value for C, then its effect is a negative or a left shift for C. And lastly, you have the vertical shift. Vertical shift is the upward or downward shift of the graph. And as you can see here, What's affecting the y value of your graph is this d right here, y. Take note, your argument is x, and our corresponding value of y is this one right here. So this plus d would affect the value of y. So for the vertical shift, this one is based on the value of d. And in particular, we have this one right here. If d is positive, then its effect is an upward shift. But if you have a negative d, its effect is a downward shift. So now, how will we use these properties of sinusoidal waves in graphing sine waves? So, some guidelines. First and foremost, the one that will help you is the phase and vertical shift. So, find the initial point. The initial point using the phase and vertical shift. So take note that if you have a sine function, we are starting with the origin 0, 0, and if you have cosine, we start with 0, 1. So using this phase shift, we will determine where the original initial point goes. So instead of 0, 0, so if this is 0, 0, using the phase shift, you determine, using the vertical shift rather, you determine if it goes up or down. And using the phase shift, you determine whether it goes left or right. So this one is using vertical shift, and this one is using the phase shift. Next one, once you know the initial point, you would want to determine the length of vertical and horizontal movement for our framework. Horizontal movement. So how do we determine this again? So for the length of your vertical movement, you have your amplitude. That's the absolute value of A. And for the horizontal movement, that would be your period divided by 4. The last step, just follow our framework. So we will just follow the framework that we prescribe right here. For sine function, you have this one that looks like a snake. And for your cosine function, you have this one that looks like a bucket, I guess. So let's proceed to some examples. Okay. Examples. What we'll do is sketch one cycle of the following. Sketch one cycle of the following. For number 1, we have f of x equals 3 times sine of 2x minus pi over 2 minus 2. So what we'll do, first and foremost, is write our function in this form right here. So how do we do that? You already have your a here. you already have your D. So take note, we have A sine of B times x minus C plus D. So you already have your A and your D. What we have to do is write the inside of the sine function into this form. So we will factor the one that's multiplied to x right here. So since 2 is multiplied to x, we will factor out 2. So we have 3 sine of 2 times, right here we have 2x divided by 2, that's x, then minus pi over 2 divided by 2, that's pi over 4. So now, let's identify the important numbers. First one is the amplitude. So our amplitude is absolute value of A, but our A right here is 3. So for the amplitude, we have absolute value of 3 equals 3. Next one is period. So we said that period is 2 pi over B. So our B right here is 2. So for our period, we have 2 pi over 2. That's pi. Next one is the phase shift. So phase shift is based on the value of C. And for the value of C, take note, the one inside is B times x minus C. So our C is pi over 4. So we have here a phase shift of pi over 4. And since pi over 4 is positive, that means we have a right shift. And lastly, we have your vertical shift. So vertical shift is the one based on the value of D. So we have here A times sine of B times x minus C plus D. However, this is a negative 2, which could be written as plus negative 2. So your D would be negative 2. So for the vertical shift, we have negative 2. And since this is a negative number, this means we will move 2 units downwards. So why downwards? That's because we have a negative vertical shift. So now, what we have to do is find the initial point. So to find the initial point, first we locate where 0, 0 is. Okay. So 0, 0 is right here. Why are we starting with 0, 0? We're starting with 0, 0 because we have a sine function here. And your original sine function starts with the origin. So let's start with 0, 0. Maybe I should use a different, no. Okay, I can use green. So starting with 0, 0, we have a phase shift of pi over 4. So we have a phase shift of pi over 4. So that means we have to move pi over 4 units to the right. So let's say this is pi over 4. This is pi over 4. Okay. So we move pi over 4 units to the right. And our vertical shift is negative 2. So that means we have to move 2 units downwards. So let's move 2 units downwards. We have our initial point right here, which is pi over 4, comma, negative 2. Next, to follow our framework, we need your vertical and horizontal movement. So for the vertical movement, that's just your amplitude. So our amplitude is 3. Then for your horizontal movement, that's your period over 4. So that's pi over 4. So that means starting from this point to follow our framework, we move 3 units vertically and pi over 4 units horizontally. Since our base function is the sine function, we will use the framework for the sine function. So we will follow this snake-like pattern here. This snake-like pattern right here. So that means starting with pi over 4 comma negative 2, what we have to do is move 3 units vertically. So we move, maybe I can add another color. What color do I want to use? Maybe we can use orange. Okay, let's add orange to my team. So first, we have to move 3 units vertically. 3 units vertically. And after that, we need to move pi over 4 units to the right. Pi over 4 units to the right. So this point right here would be, so first, we added pi over 4 to our x-coordinate. So pi over 4 plus pi over 4, that's pi over 2. Then for the y-coordinate, we added by 3. So negative 2 plus 3, we get 1 right here. Then after that, we move pi over 4 units to the right and 3 units down to get this point right here. So starting from pi over 2, we add pi over 4. So pi over 2 plus pi over 4, that's 3 pi over 4. Then from 1, we subtract 3, so we have negative 2. Then after that, we move 3 units down, 1, 2, 3. And pi over 4 units to the right again. So for this point, we add pi over 4 to the x-coordinate. So 3 pi over 4 plus pi over 4, that gives us pi. Then, for the y-coordinate, since we went down 3 units, we have to subtract 3 from this one. So negative 2 minus 3, we have negative 5. Then finally, we move pi over 4 units to the right. Pi over 4 units to the right. And move 3 units up. We get right here pi plus pi over 4. That's 5 pi over 4. Comma. Negative 5 plus 3. That's negative 2. Then finally, to draw the graph itself, let's just make some curves inside our guideline. So we draw the curve right here. Curve. Then we have a curve here. Curve here. Okay, that doesn't look too good. I'll do it one more time. Curve. And curve. And here we have the graph of f of x equals 3 sine of 2x minus pi over 2 minus 2. So basically, what we just need to do is determine your fixed and vertical shift to find the initial point, then determine the vertical and horizontal movement, and follow our framework right here and draw a curve inside that one. Okay? Let's proceed to the second example. So this time we want to graph f of x equals 3 times cosine of x over 2 plus pi plus 2. So first and foremost, we want to write this in the form a times cosine of b times x minus c plus d. So for our a, it's already okay. For d, it's already okay. So let's just fix the one inside. So since there's a 1/2 multiplied to x, we need to factor out 1/2. So we have 3 cosine of 1/2 times, so we have x right here, plus, so what we'll do is divide pi by 1 over 2. So we get right here 2 pi. So from this one, we have our amplitude, which is the absolute value of a. So that's absolute value of 3, which is equal to 3. Then for the period, that's 2 pi over b. So that's 2 pi over 1/2, which gives us 4 pi. For the phase shift, that's the value of c. So our c right here, take note, we have an x minus c right here, but here we have x plus 2 pi. So that means your phase shift is negative 2 pi, and since you have a negative phase shift, that means we're moving to the left. And lastly, we have your vertical shift, which is the value of d, which is 2. And since 2 is positive, that means we're moving up. So let's proceed with graphing. Let's proceed with graphing. So first and foremost, since we already have cosine as our base function, that means we're starting with 0, 1. But what's 0, 1 for the graph of cosine? For the graph of cosine, 0, 1 is a maximum point. And what's something that we know about maximum points? It's affected by this amplitude right here, since amplitude talks about the distance between the maximum and minimum y value. So, unlike for your sine function, since we're starting with a maximum point, we have to scale this first, considering the amplitude. So, since we have an amplitude of 3 right here, we have to multiply the y-coordinate by 3. So from 0, 1, we'll have 0, 3. So we're starting actually not with 0, 1, but with 0, 3. So why we are starting right here? That's because of the amplitude. Then from here, we can now proceed with your phase shift. First, we have to move 2 pi units to the left. So, since we don't have enough space, maybe I can just say that this one is of length pi and this one is of length 1, I guess. So let's move 2 pi units to the right. And after that, we have to move 2 units up. So this one right here would be our first point, which is negative 2 pi, 5. Then next, to follow our framework, we need your vertical movement and your horizontal movement. So our vertical movement is the same as the amplitude, so that's 3. Then for the horizontal movement, that's period divided by 4. So we have 4 pi divided by 4 equals pi. So starting with the initial point, we will just follow the framework for your cosine function. So that's the bucket right here with a horizontal movement of pi and a vertical movement of 3. So first, we move pi units to the right. Pi units to the right. And after that, we move 3 units down. 3 units down. So we have right here the point. So since we move pi units to the right, this is already negative 2 pi plus pi, which is negative pi. And since we move 3 units down, we have 5 minus 3, that's 2. Then from here, we move 3 units down and pi units to the right. So we have the point right here, negative pi plus pi, that's 0, comma, 2 minus 3, that's negative 1. Then from here, we move pi units to the right and 3 units up. We have right here 0 plus pi, so that's pi, comma, negative 1 plus 3, that's 2. Then lastly, we move 3 units up and pi units to the right. So we have pi plus pi, that's 2 pi, and 2 plus 3, that's 5. Then finally, we draw the cosine graph. How do we draw the cosine graph? So first, we draw outside, then we draw inside right here of the bucket, then we draw outside. So let's draw our curves. First one, we have this one right here. Then we go inside, continue inside, then draw outside again. So we have right here the graph of this function right here. Okay? So what's the difference here? What's the different step that we did? Since the initial point for your cosine is a maximum point, you have to adjust this one according to the amplitude. So since this is 0, 1, and we have an amplitude of 3, what we did is we just multiplied by 3 in the y coordinate. So we started with 0, 3. Okay? So let's proceed to the third example. For the third one, we have f of x equals negative 5 sine of pi x over 2 minus pi. So once again, what we want to do is write this one in the form a sine of b times x minus c plus d. So we just factor out pi over 2 to get here negative 5 times sine of pi over 2 times x minus, so we have pi divided by pi over 2, that will give us 2. Then for the plus d, we can just write this as plus 0. So given this one, what's our amplitude? Amplitude is just the absolute value of a. So absolute value of negative 5, that is 5. But since we have a negative value of a right here, we have to negate our framework. So we negate our framework. Then for the period, period is 2 pi divided by b, and your b right here is pi over 2. So 2 pi all over pi over 2. What's this one? So 2 pi over pi over 2. That's just the same as 2 pi times the reciprocal of the 1 in the denominator. So times 2 over pi. We can cancel this out. We get a period of 4. So we get 4 right here. Then for the phase shift, that is dependent on the value of C. So our C right here is this one. So C equals 2. And since we have a positive phase shift, that means we're moving to the right. And lastly, for your vertical shift is dependent on the value of D, which is 0. So we're not moving vertically. Okay? So let's start with our graphing. How big should my canvas be? I guess this one's enough. Okay. So since we have your sine function here as your parent function, we're starting with 0, 0. And since 0, 0 is not a minimum point or a maximum point, we do not really have to consider the amplitude in adjusting your initial point. So what we just have to do is move 2 units to the right and not move vertically. So let's move 2 units to the right and 0 vertically. So you have your initial point, 2, 0. The next, let's determine our vertical and horizontal movement. So for the vertical, that's just your amplitude. We move 5 units up and down. And for the horizontal, you just divide the period by 4. So 4 over 4, that's 1. So to graph this one, first take note that since we have a negative value for A, we have to negate the framework. So by negating the framework, that just means that instead of moving up, we move down first, then move right. Then here we have to move up, move to the right, and move down. So we're just inverting basically our vertical movements. So here, instead of going up, since we have a negative amplitude, we start by moving down 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and after that, we have to move 1 unit horizontally. So we have this point right here. So since we move 1 unit horizontally, we add 1 to our x-coordinate. So that's 3. And since we move down 5 units, we subtract 5 to your y-coordinate. So we have 3, comma, negative 5. Then after that, we move 1 unit to the right and 5 units up. We have here, so we add 1 to your x-coordinate, we have 4. And we add 5 to your y-coordinate, so negative 5 plus 5, that's 0. Then after that, we move 5 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 unit to the right, so this point right here, we add 1 to the x-coordinate, so now we have 5. And after that, we add 5 to the y-coordinate, we have 5 right here. Then lastly, we move 1 unit to the right and 5 units down, we have this one right here. We add 1 to the x-coordinate, so that's 6. And subtract 5 in the y-coordinate, so we have 0. Then finally, to draw the sine graph, we just draw inside. Okay. I'm not really that good at drawing. Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay. And like this. My drawing is so bad, but more or less it looks like this. So here's the graph of number 3. And lastly, let's proceed to the fourth example. So this time we have f of x equals negative 2 cosine of x over 2 minus pi over 4 plus 1. So here, once again, our first step is write this one in the standard form. A cosine of b times x minus c plus d. So what we have to do is factor out something in the inside. In particular, since x is multiplied by 1/2, we have to factor out 1 over 2. So you have negative 2 cosine of 1/2 times, so you have x here, minus pi over 4 divided by 1/2. That's pi over 4 times 2, which is pi over 2, then plus 1. So from here, we have your amplitude, which is the absolute value of A. So that's absolute value of negative 2 equals 2. And since we have a negative value of A, that means we have to negate the framework. We have to negate our framework. Then next, for our period, so that's 2 pi all over b. 2 pi over b, so b is 1 over 2. We have here 4 pi. The next phase shift, that's the value of c. So our c right here is this one, pi over 2. And since pi over 2 is positive, that means we have to move to the right. And lastly, for your vertical shift, we have, for the value of d, that's 1. So vertical shift is 1. And since 1 is positive, we have to move upwards. So to graph this, we start with 0, 1. We start with 0, 1. But once again, 0, 1 is a maximum point. So we have to adjust this one by the value of A. So first and foremost, what will happen here, since your A is negative 2, the maximum points, so if we will look at the original graph, if we multiply this one by negative 1, the graph will revert. It will be reflected with respect to the x-axis. So your maximum point right here becomes a negative point. Becomes a minimum point rather. So first, since we have a negative sign, we have to multiply by negative 1 first in the y-coordinate. So we're considering this time 0, negative 1. Then after that, since you have an amplitude of 2, we have to multiply the y-coordinate by 2. So you'll have right here 0, negative 2. The next, we have to identify your vertical and horizontal movements. So for the vertical, that's just your amplitude of 2. And for the horizontal, that's just the period divided by 4, which is pi. So that means we need to move vertically by 2 and horizontally by pi. So now how do we proceed in graphing? So take note, this is our original framework. But since we have a negative value for A, we have to negate our framework. So what we will follow is this one right here. So instead of a bucket, we're sort of creating a hat. So how do we do the hat? First, we haven't found the initial point yet. First, let's find the initial point. So starting with 0, -2, we have to move pi over 2 units to the right and 1 unit upward. So for the sake of simplicity, I'll just make this pi over 2 and 1. So let's move pi over 2 units to the right and 1 unit up. This is our initial point, pi over 2, comma, -1. Then from here, let's draw the hat. So first step in drawing the hat is move pi over 2 units to the right and we move pi units rather, since our horizontal movement is pi. So we move pi units to the right and move 2 units up. So we have this point right here. We need to add, since we moved pi units to the right, we add pi to pi over 2. So pi plus pi over 2, that's just 3 pi over 2. So we have 3 pi over 2 here, comma, for the y-coordinate, we move 2 units up. So -1 plus 2, that's +1. Then after that, we move 2 units up and pi units to the right. We have right here, so for the x-coordinate, we add pi to 3 pi over 2. So 3 pi over 2 plus pi, that's 3 pi over 2 plus 2 pi over 2, that's 5 pi over 2. So we have here 5 pi over 2, comma, since we move 2 units up, we add 2 to our y-coordinate. So 1 plus 2, that's 3. Then after that, move pi units to the right and 2 units down. We have right here, so 5 pi over 2 plus pi, that's 7 pi over 2, comma, since we went down 2 units, we subtract 2 from 3. So 3 minus 2, that's 1. And lastly, we move 2 units down and move pi units to the right. We have this point right here, 7 pi over 2 plus pi, that's 9 pi over 2, comma, 1 minus 2, that's -1. And to draw our cosine function, we just connect the points. So we have this one right here, this one, and this one. And that's it for this example. If you want to practice graphing more sinusoidal waves or sinusoidal functions, I believe I have listed more than 10 exercises in our Ovle course site, so please check them out and take note some important deadlines. So some important deadlines, I guess I can put it here. Deadline. So your homework 7 is already due on May 2, and I will be giving you until 11:59 p.m. For ease of submission, I will be uploading a submission bin in Ovle. So please check them out. And thank you. Stay hydrated. Keep safe always. Thank you, everyone.